what's up fam? Welcome to Scrum and Hip Hop. When you say Agile, sprints immediately come to mind for some folks. Visions of 2 weeks being forced to stand during meetings and playing with post-it notes dance through their heads. Now what they're really thinking about is Scrum. And then there's a decree for Scrum Masters to get all the ceremonies on the calendar. Ceremonies. We rally against dogma in the Agile community, but we have to do our part to keep dogmatism in check. So I gotta ask, does the ritualized language that we sometimes choose say otherwise? This episode isn't a how-to on facilitating Scrum events, but a question. What's up with our persistence on calling them ceremonies? Back in the day as a new Scrum Master, like so many of my peers, I got into the habit of running every Scrum meeting. I'd send out calendar invites, make sure tickets were assigned and moved to appropriate status. I made sure everyone was present before starting daily Scrum. Pretty much everywhere I worked, this was the same expectation. We dog on project managers sometimes, but how was that any different? Setting up meetings, assigning tasks, asking for status reports, making sure every box is ticked. In hip hop, if you're an MC, you have skills on the mic. Back in 1993, A Tribe Called Quest released the album Midnight Marauders. On the outro to the song, Oh My God, they called this out. The title MC means Master of Ceremony. Sometimes people who MC don't know what this term means. Master of Ceremony. Let that sink in for a moment. I mean, yeah, we should know the purpose of each meeting and help folks understand how to use them to their advantage. But should we be running them forever? Should we change it up to ceremony masters? So where does the word ceremony come from anyway? As the story goes, Ken Schwaber and Mike Cohn delivered most of the first Scrum training courses back in the day. In the slide deck for the course, they chose ceremonies as a descriptor, likely borrowing this term from Crystal Methods, which had been using it as early as 1990. Now, before you go off on me about taking shots at Ken and Mike and flaming me down in the comments, this isn't a dig on them. Nah. This is an examination of our authority bias over critical thinking in the Agile community. Now, you might be thinking, John, why do you care if we say ceremonies? Well, think on this. We already changed the language around grooming due to its negative connotations. And yeah, there are folks who still say that word. And just like with the use of ceremonies, it's a coaching opportunity. Now, I'm not a purist by any means, and saying ceremonies doesn't seem like a big deal. But it's important to understand the cognitive impact of the language we choose. Language is important, so we gotta ask ourselves, do our actions match our words? If we point folks to the Scrum Guide as the be-all end-all on Scrum, what are you gonna say when somebody asks, why do you call them ceremonies? I didn't see it in the guide you pointed me to. Are you gonna say, I don't know, that's what we've always called them? Or, everybody else does it. How about instead we use empiricism? Inspect and adapt, then make one small change to the words we choose. Think of this as doing our part in uncovering better ways to reduce misleading associations by changing our language and helping others do it too. And don't sleep on hip hop. It's more than just beats, samples, and rhymes. Much love for tuning in. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And stay tuned for when the next episode drops. This is Scrum and Hip Hop, where Agile meets rhythm and poetry. And I'm out.